woman sitting on a high platform, throws a high heel down, throws another heel down, then carefully turns around, determined to jump. With an ear-splitting scream, the woman fell straight to the floor, but she was unharmed. It turned out that May had been on the high platform for 3 years. For a long time, it was only 2 meters high, but in her eyes, she couldn't see the bottom. May was an international supermodel. At a catwalk show, a wealthy man took a liking to her, and with the rich man's advances, they were married. But the day after the wedding, May woke up to find an extra shelf in the house. Her husband confidently introduced it to May. At first, Xiao Mei didn't care, but then she found that her husband had also put a desk in front of the shelf. The husband told Mei, "This allows me to keep an eye on you while I am working. I can look at you all the time, to admire your beauty." Hearing her husband's words of coaxing, Mei's heart softened immediately, so she quit her job as a supermodel to concentrate on being with her husband. With the help of her husband, she climbed up to the top for the first time. She was in a very happy mood. She gradually got used to the feeling. Even when her husband had a party, Mei also sat on the high platform, looking down on the guests below. Her husband was just as he had said. Whenever May needed him, he would hang up the phone voluntarily, and every time he went out, he would prepare gifts for May. She was very satisfied. She felt she had married the right man, but her husband's love expired faster than milk. In less than 3 months, her husband became impatient with May. He even asked his assistant to turn his desk back to May. He ignored her. May was also very aggrieved. It was her husband who told her to do this, but now it was her own problem. Soon 3 years had passed. Xiao Mei had been up there for 3 years too. One day Xiao Mei wanted a drink of water. She shouted for a long time, and found that no one was home. So Mei got ready to come down from up there, but she had been there too long. It was only a couple of meters high, but in her eyes, she couldn't see the bottom. First she threw a high-heeled shoe down, then she threw the other one down, then she turned carefully and made up her mind to jump. With an ear-splitting scream, May fell straight to the floor. After 3 years of being up there, May even forgot to walk. Xiao Mei is like a baby. Step by step, she walked towards the outside of the house. After seeing the world outside, May played like a child. She even threw a basket of tennis balls down. Afterwards, Xiao Mei took the van to the lively city center. She danced beautifully, influencing everyone on the road. She learns to practice yoga, learning to dance, but as her enthusiasm wore off, May walked alone in the street. All she could think about was the shadow her marriage had cast over her. 3 years of marriage had left her without herself. She had no friends. Even her proudest job was lost. Just when she didn't know where to go, she came across a beauty shop. Fascinated by what she saw, she remembered that she was an international supermodel. Her career had been going smoothly, but she was overwhelmed by love. Then she went into the beauty shop. Looking at herself in front of the mirror, she decided to make a change. With a supermodel's innate sense of beauty, 3 years later, she picked up her makeup brush again, without a hint of rust. Soon May's skillful technique caught the attention of the owner's wife. She asked her if she was a professional. At first, she didn't know how to answer. After thinking about it, she told her what had happened in the past 3 years. She briefly told her partner. After hearing Xiao Mei's story, the owner didn't dislike her. On the contrary, she was very understanding. At this moment, Xiao Mei, she felt like she had found her long-lost sister. They spent the rest of the day talking, encouraged by the boss's wife. When she returned, she smashed down the high table with her own hands. She was saying goodbye to the past. In this moment, May looked like a warrior returning from a triumphant victory. A few years later, May opened a beauty shop under her own name. She opened a beauty shop under her own name. A long queue formed outside the shop just after it opened. In the shop, May is elegant and graceful. She greeted the customers with enthusiasm. She remained the same, sitting on a high platform. From time to time, the customers would look at her differently, but she still has a smile on her face. Perhaps the same old her. She is more relaxed and confident. She no longer cares about what people think. The film Rant is from Season 1. Episode 3, A Woman on a Shelf. A man who is successful in the worldly sense, in her luxurious villa, creates an exquisite shelf, and asks his beautiful wife to sit demurely on the shelf, to become a real vase of flowers, a beautiful display. I hope that when we are faced with a choice, don't worry too much about what others think, to do what we love to do, to love the people we love, just keep going. The man grabs the dog's mouth hard. The dog is about to be suffocated, but the man still won't let go. If he makes a sound, then both the man and the dog will die, because there is a mutated monster behind them. Once the monster is gone, the man lets go of the dog's mouth, and the red coat that fell outside attracts the fine dog. In spite of the man's resistance, the dog ran to the river. This time the monster has spotted them for good. The man immediately ran to his backpack and took a grenade out of it, but because he was too nervous, the grenade fell to the ground after pulling the safety, and the monster was coming at the speed of a white horse. The monster is about to swallow the man. The man throws the grenade directly into the monster's mouth. The grenade is blown apart. These monsters are not other species, they were mutated from Earth. It turns out that that just a year ago, Earth was hit by an asteroid. It was only after humans fired countless nuclear bombs at it to avert the apocalyptic crisis. But the asteroid carried a lot of germs. It caused many creatures to mutate. Centipedes grew into giant dragons. Snails grew taller than trees. Even hairy crabs became giant beasts. In a short space of time, only 5% of the human population remained. In order to survive, they all went underground. The hero's name is Little Five. His parents were killed by a spider's leg in the accident. The only thing he has left to turn to is his girlfriend. So Five plans to go in search of her. On his way there he was going to get some food. Just as he opened the fridge, he was frightened away by the monster in front of him. Behind him, a pair of eyes appeared in the sink. It turned out to be a large bullfrog. He ran away frantically, but the bullfrog's tongue stuck to it. At that moment a small dog ran out. He bit the bullfrog's tongue.